sound like him at all. I want to say my boss, but I can't. Just say to you, I know. I mean, I shouldn't say I like him. No. I like how his character looks too. You know, some of the characters look really cool, I think. What? All right. Welcome to the stream. I was gonna put the other stuff on. I haven't put this stuff on all day. What?
Just hot. My face. More so.
It wasn't hot when I got out of your house, but also her house is just significantly cooler.
It wasn't bad in here, but now all of a sudden
There's no wind.
Yeah. And once that stops, forget it. It's like, ew. But
I know.
faces and nose.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Alright. Welcome, guys. We'll wait a couple more minutes. It's hot. I mean, I'm waiting for at least Galaxy to get in, or at least someone to get in.
Now get this band.
Sorry. I don't feel like having to turn the fan down low just to sit over there.
No.
Ugh.
No. No bueno.
Yeah. Matt Ungard. Why do you think his name is Matt Ungard?
I have no idea.
Oh, so we were playing Breath of the Wild. We finally have a horse, and we unlocked the lake tower.
Oh, I don't know.
Woodland. We unlocked a bunch of the towers, so mostly all of the right side of the map is all done. I think we have to the Tino Tower, and then we're all set. No, the Tino Tower and the Theron Tower.
Okay.
Tino and the Theron Tower. But other than that, we are done with it.
Okay.
We're done with that right side of the map, and then we've been unlocking shrines like crazy. So fun times. So now we need to go and do. Excuse me. We need to do the left side, but we also need to find all the books.
Yes.
All the DLC stuff. We're basically gonna put off doing story stuff until later on. I don't think we'll do the Divine Beast until we have the Master Sword. At least that's my game plan.
Sounds good to me.
I want the Master Sword most likely more so for Thunderblight Bastard.
Okay.
We have a horse. Her name's Nightmare. Yeah, there were a bunch of good names, like Harry Trotter, David Hasselhoof. Oh, it's gonna be funny. Alright, let's start, shall we? Are you in chat yet?
Huh?
Are you in the chat?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'll get there momentarily.
Alright.
I'll get there.
Dude, I can't believe that Adrian, no way, not cool and close to Adrian Andrews.
Yeah,
She is your manager. It would be very easy for her to pull us off. The only person who had easy access to the knife, and you used at dinner as well, as was, well, her. So after the ceremony, during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. She could have also easily planted the blood-covered button on your Hama? That's the consensus we got to? Because she was the one who came to wake me up? Then dude, you're saying it was really her? Yes, she is the real killer. She is the one who murdered one Kurita. But why? I thought she was Buzzwolf. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? Well, what are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Get me a verdict. Get me a verdict. That's refreshing like a spring breeze. Okay, Mr. Layer Dude? Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's death, right? Missing suicide note, right? Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impacts as her strength and her reason to live. But when Miss Impacts suddenly killed herself, it sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person left to have hidden it is Juan Kurita, the victim of this murder. And that's why I think Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Kurita. All to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible, but one thing bothers me. What do you mean? Who was it that first told us about their relationship?
Amazon employee claims thousands more PS5 consoles.
Claims like you took them? Or that there are 1,000 more coming?
Oh, there's 1,000 more. It's dropping a lot. I thought that when I read it. Oh, it claims thousands more PS5 consoles will be dropping a lot, according to this leak. Okay, it's a lot. Okay.
We don't know how old Miss Wendy Oldbag is.
Obviously old, right?
Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency. Oh, okay. It was Edgeworth. It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. Didn't plan on it. And no one's questioning the fact that Mia is this very... Pearl's now channeling Mia.
Obviously she's strong. The force is strong with that one.
Court will not reconvene yet. Now. Yes. Now that Miss Chargement, if you please.
Oh, what are we on? Prosecution call?
Adrian Andrews. We're on day part 2 of the trial.
Yeah. I have to get down to that trial.
Well, I was just letting you know. Oh no, we're sitting. Bro, that's a next
I know,
one.
but I have to stop to read where I am.
No.
You know.
Adrian!
Okay.
Okay.
Let's say, day 2, day 1. Lot of heart.
I did a lot of the old bag. Oh no, I'm just trying to remember the order of events.
Who's the
Oh, what?
Who's the witness?
Adrian Andrews.
Okay. Alright.
I see Baby Yoda on your screen.
Oh, you're so cute.
What else is on your screen? What else? Star Wars? Ah.
It's an advertisement, you know? Okay.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was just like a random mishmash of things. Alright. The prosecution calls witness subpoenaed by this court. I probably spelled that wrong. Anyways, Miss Erin Andrews, the person who was hurt by the crime the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Wright's room.
Let me know when you get to the rest of the game.
Sounds good. What's your occupation? I'm the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Mountain Guard. I see that. I know that. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes, sure, what is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland.
Okay.
If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd be all over my work. He'll only work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relationship with the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Karida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But that was a private matter between Matt, Juan, and myself. So it was a frying bait matter? What? Oh. What kind of a... I've never... Okay. But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. I think there's someone that would beg to differ. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. I did the voice wrong. Now, very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. It was the time to start the show, so I went to get Matt out of his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was naturally the exact scene of the crime photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Thank you, Judge. You're actually saying something helpful for once. You poured yourself a glass of juice.
What else was she supposed to do?
Call the police? Inform someone? Oh, I just saw a dead body. Let me just,
take my time, pour a glass of juice.
Let me just pour a glass of juice here, we'll have place it at the crime scene.
Well, that's, life.
Yes, sadly I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of the crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that was when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin to cross-examine the witness. Phoenix, she's one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch the person like her, you need to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing. Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack what she least expects. That the instant you let up on your offense is the instant the trial is over. Understand?
Sure.
Sure, we'll go with that. I could never be a lawyer. Alright. So I'm assuming a head-on confrontation is gonna be the wine glass, pouring the juice in the wine glass.
Oh, we can do that. Press her on the third statement, and then was his dead body.
You were in shock. What, was I not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Kurida. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock, and you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I see.
I felt as though you're gonna press her on her fifth statement. This one.
Oh, it's too obvious to press.
When prompted, press her to this after statement.
Oh. Juice? Yes. There was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. Yes, because, you know... There's a dead body, I feel his fate. Let me just pour some juice. Like, carry it over with me, put it on this table.
Yeah.
But you didn't drink it, did you? Uh-huh. There were no lip marks on the wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. I wondered why you weren't feeling well. It's almost like there was a dead body in the room. Yeah. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Kurida, you were in a great shock. And that's when you poured yourself a glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind was really a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank. I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing. That one thing?
Come on. It's no big deal.
Never mind. It's no big deal. Oh, she just started to say I know. Ooh, quiet music. Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that you said you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what that mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over.
Present the guitar case against the new statement. I was the one who. Okay.
Oh.
It's going to be a new statement added to her testimony.
Present the guitar case?
Present the
Flower
guitar case
vase?
against the new statement.
Are you talking about the one on top of on the floor of the crime photo? This mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser. When I bumped into it, my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry. I thought since that the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume that the vase was not a part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please, add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else.
Okay, so I was the one who presented the guitar case.
Ah! On! Hi, I'd like to call bullshit on this statement. Sorry. It's been a long, tiring day. As many of you don't know that Mia was kidnapped. Maya was kidnapped. Sorry, Mia's right next to me. Pearl's channeling her. God, I need more friends that aren't prosecutors and spirit channelers.
In other words, you need more friends than dead people.
Exactly.
Okay.
And, people are just, Alright. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over, correct? Is this correct? Yes. And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there a problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It is true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, it's not that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testify that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that were true, the guitar case would not have gotten wet on the inside.
Should have gotten wet on
The inside and not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case.
And what is that?
Alright. Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what's wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shards should be inside and not outside of the case. What is your point, Wright? That the case was closed at the time when the vase was knocked over? Is that all? No, think back to what Ms. Andrews testified to. She said that the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicate
Implicitly.
okay, thank you. Implicitly say that she didn't touch the guitar case. But this is a whole matter with the guitar case. Is a dead end. The burger guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on the case at all. Oh, Felix. Phoenix. That may very well be true. However, the guitar case does seem like it does have no real relation to this case, doesn't it? It seems like there's no deep meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more detail about the guitar case?
Make her testify.
The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along. For now, Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. The wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go and start cross-examining.
Present the guitar case against any statement of the first.
Okay. Using any way to change the topic? A convenient escape for a weak man. Here's the guitar card.
Yeah, anything but the first.
Okay.
Objection!
There was no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints found on the guitar case were those of the victim. I knew that. What is it, Miss Andrews? You shouldn't assume I must have. You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. Oh, so you know when I put wolves on, right? You know who's in the movie?
Huh?
You know who's in the movie?
Who?
Jason Momoa.
Oh.
I was watching a scene of it, and I'm like, that looks like Jason Momoa. And then the kid who's in it he plays young MacGyver. He plays the new young MacGyver. I'm like, I know I've seen him before. I think he's in Hallmark. Or maybe I saw him on like Heartland or something. I'm trying to think who he is. And then somebody else who's in the show, I guess, was in Heartland. Not Heartland, sorry. He's also a MacGyver. One episode, still. Cool. What do you mean, Miss Andrews? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at that time? It was the night of the award ceremony. So of course I dressed for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of gloves. Thin gloves. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it would appear the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime.
That's strange.
You were wearing gloves. Isn't that a little strange? What? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? I have your proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass?
After talking, you'll have a chance to present Nichols and Wright.
You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Ugh. Even after you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? And that you put your gloves back on just to open up the guitar case? So your glass is broke and you just pull a new pair out? Is that what this is? I don't know. Do you have 5 million pairs of glasses?
Yeah. Yeah, great.
Well, actually, we probably do for more pairs of glasses.
Order.
Oh, God, I hate my job. Order in the court! It looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe that the guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty guitar case. It's just an empty case. I wonder if it was really empty, though. But the bright red guitar was at the studio. Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not a bright red guitar. You don't mean...
It was a bright white guitar application. That's not right either.
Nick, what the hell, man? I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So, the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case... Your Honor. This is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court toward the unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided. No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it was wide open in the photo of the crime scene. I am sure the guitar case has some relation to the murder. So yeah, the second, the Nichols Samurai is there.
You'll have the chance to bring up the Nichols Samurai, or a lot of photo can work here too.
Okay.
And tell the court it was a scare costume.
If you're so sure, right? Then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please, enlighten us why that guitar case has anything to do with this murder at all. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was, okay. That the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been the case. The bright red guitar was not the only thing? You don't mean... What is it when people say, oh, it's not the bright red, it's the bright white or the bright black?
I don't know.
So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty, is that it, right? I wouldn't say something that I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours, you haven't proven anything yet. Now let's have it. What was inside the guitar case of the murder? Alright, that came first. This is a photograph. Yes, but what is important is what is in the picture, Your Honor. In this picture, it doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I am proposing is, inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. What? Mr. Wright, what have you been smoking? Mr. Wright, explain yourself! Right, are you saying that when it's open the guitar case, to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to do something like that? The insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you, could you, Miss Andrews? What?
Couldn't see anybody. Let anybody see me.
Yeah, whatever. I refuse to accept your theory.
Okay.
Do you have anything to support this preposterous idea? Just outside the door was the investigative reporter. Sorry, photographer. Sorry, Smallville came to mind. Lois and Clark. Who was starving for a big scoop, and in the end, she managed to get this shot. Correct? You mean this photo? Order! Order, for crying out loud!
Yeah.
It's always a mess when it's always a mess when we defend people. It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy, speak first, think later.
That sounds about right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, the real murderer was hiding inside the costume. Wait a second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Ungard's. Why would something of the defendants be in the victim's room? And in the inside the guitar case of all places. True. This is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. It was stolen from Ungard, yeah, the one that was still wearing it. What was the Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case? Mr. Ungard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that guitar case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one.
It's just like, really? What the hell's going on?
You're always wondering how we became a defense attorney, right?
It's just like, really?
What?
I don't have time for this shit. Seriously, dude.
What? Then are you saying on the day of the murder, there were two Nickel Samurai costumes At the Gatewater Hotel?
It was a press conference ticket.
That's exactly what I'm saying. How do you explain this costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose. But why? The victim, Mr. Kurita, was the diamond ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai's spare costume? Mr. Ungard was feeling a little woozy. He's like, "Juan, fill in for me."
Yeah. Exactly.
Phoenix, you're exceptionally stupid today, but you're gonna pass because of what's happening with Maya. And there lies the sticking point. What are you mumbling about to yourself now? I know I read that wrong. Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, Miles. I love you. I truly do. You're one of my favorites. Obviously second to Godot, but that's another story. We haven't met him yet. Miles.
Does he give up in the next phase?
Yes. No. Yeah, next game. That's why I can't wait. I can't wait for the next game.
Is this the last trial of this game?
Yeah. I think the next game might actually be my favorite game.
It's gonna be an interesting game.
It's gonna be such a good game. The trials in that game are amazing, and it's actually what's really cool is you get to play as Mia.
Yes.
Which is really cool. Obviously, they're flashbacks, but still.
Obviously, since she's alive.
And all of the trials in that game mostly revolve around the same person.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah?
No.
No.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything too in detail because I don't want to spoil the game. But it's such an amazing game, and Godot, I know you're going to hear me say this a lot. You hear me say it with Miles, how he's my favorite character. Godot is one of my favorite characters in the series, because Miles is very complex, but I think Godot is more of a complex character. And if you guys have either seen the game, played the games, or watched the show, I'm assuming you guys will know what I'm talking about unless you haven't gotten that far. But it's such an interesting... He's just such an interesting and complex character. And I can't wait to see Lance's reactions to him. Especially when we get towards the later trials. Especially specifically the last trial. I can't wait to see his reaction specifically towards the last trial, so... I'm excited. I love the third game. I think it's awesome, and I can't wait. Partially why I've actually kind of been streaming this more, because I want to focus on this and just, finish it. No, the third game's on here. The Great Ace Chronicles is on the Switch. And then, after we beat this game, we're gonna focus on Below Zero. And then we're gonna do Phoenix Wright 3, so... And then I think maybe we'll do The Witcher. Maybe. I don't know. We'll do something. We'll figure it out when we get to that point. But yeah, no, I have a love-hate relationship with Below Zero right now, so it's one of those things. But, third game, I cannot wait for it. It's gonna be so good. I love that game. It's such a great game. The trials are awesome. And then the trials in this one are good too, but third game takes it away amazingly. But I'll stop talking now. Well, actually, do this. Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of an inner monologue? No. I think with my mouth open. I think when I talk, and that's how I do my best thinking, even in court. Mr. Wright, Please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai's spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright. This is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... the press conference ticket.
Why? We're gonna go through her.
What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this thing as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Guard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. But how can that be? The way I see it, there can only be one thing. The conference was a setup. By none other than the victim himself, Mr. Juan Wright himself. The victim? Yes. The spare nickel samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Crider was going to hold a press conference as the Nickel Samurai. He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference. But why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is that he intended to reveal what he intended to reveal at the conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something, and by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Wong Karaida, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt on guard. Yes, I guess that's what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's a public disclosure. Miss Andrews? I can see why you're pros at what you do. Pardon me. Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Miss Andrews, please offer an explanation for this. I was the one who asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. You? Juan had bet everything. Oh, did you just want that?
Yeah.
Juan had bet everything on the gym and Ninja this year, and if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt and Garb was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. He was going to ruin him, but how? It looked like somehow Juan had his hands on a powerful secret. And that would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. What? And what do you know about this secret? And do you know what this secret of Mr. Ungard's is, Miss Andrews? That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. Ah, I see. Bitch, I can see through your lies!
Yeah.
I've probably been coming off as quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've just been trying to protect Matt after all. Protect Mr. Ungard? And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor. I understand. I will say, though, one of the voices in the next game is probably going to kill my voice. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had killed Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him.
Okay.
That does account for everything. Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self.
Okay.
She's more nervous than a scared rabbit. If the defense can find no faults with the testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep in mind as you cross-examine, Mr. Wright.
We're gonna press on the fourth statement. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence.
It looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite side and the scale again. That just means I have to put my way in and turn her logic upside down. Oh, sorry, press, not present. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. Then what about the button? The button? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button off the gem and ninja costume. Not the gamma ninja. Gamma radiation ninja? You're talking about this button, correct? The button was found in the pleats of Matt's comma. Isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive. Well, I can't. The court go my way for once.
Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please face your testimony.
Your statement is added.
I can't stand the sight of a man who gracefully accepts his defeat.
Oh, wait a second. A new statement is added. That button was torn. Present one autopsy's report against it.
Thank goodness me, it's still looking. With an icy stare, yes. Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add information to your testimony.
This one. Present one autopsy. I just had it.
That was a suicide attempt. Oh! There it is. Sorry. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab of the victim was done after the victim had already died.
And what does that mean? So the judge's question say to pin the crime on guard.
Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which means that it was ripped off the costume when after the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly, which means it is impossible for the button. It's impossible if the button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body. Gee. What is the meaning of this, Wright? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did it serve? What purpose? We now know that this button was torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip off the button from the victim's body. That would mean the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with the button? Have a memento of crime.
Yeah, 10 minutes of crime.
The only one logical reason for doing something like that was to pin the crime on Mr. Ungard. There's no way that anyone would have put a bloody button on their own pants. That's right, Mr. Ungard was set up. By the real killer, of course. And then the real murderer is, well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer?
I don't know.
Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trail all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end.
I'm going to present Adrian profile.
You mean not Juan Carida?
Yeah, one.
Adrian. Miss Adrian Andrews. I choose you. You are Mr. Carida's killer. What? Order, 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 for Jesus Christ. Mr. Wright, this is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews. What? How preposterous! You can't stick to any of that. You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? Then what about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. Ungard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him, and knew which knife to take, was you. Tisk. Then, what about the button found in Matt's Hakama? The button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The other people who could have done so were the person who found the body or the killer. However, if Ungard was the real killer, then there's no way he would have put this shit in incriminating piece of evidence on the Hakama. Ugh. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. Ungard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him up from his nap, which is you yet again, Miss Andrews. I see. And what about the empty guitar case? That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. The costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was such a costume located inside the guitar case? It could have only been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere found on the guitar case. And if you proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time, that's right. That's because she didn't intend on leaving her any prints. If anyone had found that she had touched the guitar case, then they would have asked her why. So, to avoid leaving prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass's tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of the body. And on top of it all, there was this photo. Photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. And no reasonable person on Earth could believe the Nickel Samurai was Mr. Guard. He'd be much too short for that, for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you? Please stop. Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Miss Andrews? I refuse to testify. What was that? There's a law that says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Well, yes, you're absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing the witness to testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would do on the spot. Actually, thinking about yesterday, Mr. Ingard's room. Adrian Andrews. That's it. That's why Francis complains of the idea in her head. She must have already told Miss Andrews not to testify if things look bad. You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there's still one thing you haven't done yet. Something I haven't done? What's wrong, Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? What's so humorous, Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor, but everything the good lawyer has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you've proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial. Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. The proof that I want to call her Erin. I want to call her Miss Erin Andrews. Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Friday. Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Karida? I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. But Miss Andrews, if you do in fact, it would be the same as if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so, or maybe not. There's no way to prove it either way. Besides, if you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. No, she's talking about the defiant attitude again. Mia, what should we do? Somehow we've landed in the worst possible situation. Oh god, why is my nose breathing all of a sudden?
I don't know.
I think we reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify. And the defense's theory that she's the actual murderer has not been fully sustained with solid definitive proof. But that's not true. In this situation, there's only one thing the court can do. And that's to declare a recess. A recess? I request that both the prosecution and the defense further into this matter. And in tomorrow's trial, tomorrow. We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue this trial. What are you sweating for? Your client's getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. It's not about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let's let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya... Then Maya what? But it is impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, the court is... It's not possible for this trial to continue. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you... It's true Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if there's a topic of conversation where something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that's very true, but actually, there is one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and? I can't help but think of how unnatural that is. Usually, when one finds a dead body, they're shaken up. So, they're shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want you to state the reason behind your actions. I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would request the witness to testify again. As to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. Should?
Good. Okay.
I don't know what it's about today, but I can't get a good read off of it. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
Oh, you never know what they do.
He's flaky.
Yeah.
The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please.
Right. When I found the body, glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. Okay.
I was surprised when I walked in the room, and I saw it was that was the estate. Blonde. He was sitting there slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting there like that, I thought he was dead, but thought that he was dead because crossed my mind. To be honest, I thought he did his finger. So I went to pour some juice. When I realized I was dead, that's why I knocked over the fireplace open.
Okay, so you're gonna present the crime photo against the fourth or fifth statement when I saw, or to be honest.
So you poured the glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say it so earlier in your testimony? I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. You can't find anything wrong with the testimony that can left. I know. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Fourth and fifth?
Yeah, fourth and fifth. When I saw it, or to be honest.
Oh, those. Race. Love row. Correct, perfect. Ah, I see you've arrived. This trial's gotten even crazier, but we'll get to that. I will explain things since you're here. So, you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? No, not at all. Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body. What is the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There was a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Wright's chest. Anyone who saw that scene would have immediately thought that there was a dead man. So, she is refusing to testify if it would result in her incriminating herself. And so, Nick said something about Maya, and because they were going to end the trial, and Miles was like, oh, well, why are you so hell-bent on getting... Basically, essentially saying, why are you so hell-bent on continuing this trial, Your client gets one more day of freedom to live or whatever. Why are you so hell-bent on trying to end it today? He said something about Maya, and then he's like... Then something clicked in his brain, and then he got Adrian Andrews to testify again. I want to call her Erin Andrews because of the chick from Dance with the Stars. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then I don't know, this whole thing is just confusing. Well, you see, I doubt a single person in the world would mistake something like that. Mistake this for someone who fainted. And then, so nonchalantly, go to pour something to drink. Your point is...
Really?
Miss Andrews, your testimony just now it was all one giant lie. Also, her glasses break, and then she just pulls out a new pair casually, puts them on there. It's like, who does that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry, it's a courtroom video game. I shouldn't try and...
Video game physics. Come on now.
Video game logic.
Yeah.
And your lie has one thing proven clearly. That you are the real killer. No! So it looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Mountainguard, is not guilty after all. I love and hate this trial at the same time. I love the ending, but just getting to the ending sucks. I know, it was an interesting trial. It's one of those that makes you think.
Okay.
But usually I want to say, like, the last trial of a game is one that makes you think. I mean, look at the DL6 case. I mean, it's like you go back and forth debating on, like, Miles didn't kill Robert Hammond, but did he kill his father on accident until it's revealed that Von Karma was the one that killed his father? So they make you think, And this one makes you think too. But that's impossible. You're wrong. Miss Andrews. The last trial of the third game, that's gonna be a very long trial, I think. Considering the anime, it was 7 episodes. It was. 7 episodes was that last trial. So I can't imagine what the game's gonna be like. But, very beautiful trial. Miss Andrews, try to have some composure. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt. I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan. But you were the one who refused to testify. You were the reason for not doing, and your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself? That's because, Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you? I refuse to testify. Then there's no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Mountainguard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated. Is it over? Have we found the truth at last? What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses to his or her guilt. And I think about this the first time someone has one. Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Mountainguard. Miles, Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. What? The reason is quite simple. The witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth.
Okay.
The absolute real truth. What are you... Witness... Don't you understand yet? Huh? I told you, dog's my first language. English is like my fifth. I don't know who planted this silly little idea in your head. as long as you protect yourself through your silence. Oh, karma! Sorry, cough in my throat. Mountain Guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. What? I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty. What in the world is she talking about? I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Francisco von Karma. Huh? Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another, because she doesn't have the strength to believe herself. Then, right now, Miss Andrews is. Yesterday she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word. No matter what happens, if you do, Matt and Guard will be acquitted. I guess one of the doors.
The bathroom door.
Yeah, I think the guest room has a door. Miss Andrews will undeniably believes in those words right now and is clinging on to them. Then what should we do? Oof, this is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. Okay, think. But Miss Andrews has to be the real killer, right? All we have to do now is get our not guilty, and that's our only priority? It wasn't me. I'm begging you, please, believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help! Please, someone help me. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? The court can't continue like this forever. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do. What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? Right. I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about the witness. About what the witness did. What she did not do. And think about the real mastermind behind the crime. Who's the real mastermind? Isn't it obvious? There's no one else who could be except for the woman crying over there, right? Come on!
Either one you can pick, it's not gonna matter.
What kind of a man are you, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? I have to win the complete field today. There's no way around that, but I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you're really hiding. Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing? Sure, Mr. Guard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you'd be found guilty. And is this how you really want the trial to end? Be quiet. How dare you? You're trying to trick me. That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it is clear that the defense's theory is in truth. You're wrong. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. However, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop! Mr. Edgeworth. That's your music. Oh no, it's music. The witness, how should I put this, has an illness. What? It's because of this illness she tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop it, please stop. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. Ah, that's the second part of the suicide report. Attempted suicide report. What will you do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews. The secret of her dependent nature. Having it other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. Please stop, I beg you. If people find out, I'll... If you're going to say you would choose death, that is no concern of me. Edward, how can you be so cold? However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips. No matter what I have to do. So, will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk, but please help me. Nothing matters anymore. Just got dark? So... this was kind of like her mentor, and I think it's also her sister, I could be wrong though. Anyways, this was her mentor, and then she killed herself 2 years ago, and then this one almost killed herself because of it. She didn't end up going through with it. But she's a very dependent on some other people, like Francisca. So, there's more to the story, but we haven't gotten that far yet. When I first saw him, I really thought he'd fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure that there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash to Matt's room. Then I stabbed one's dead body with a knife, and I ripped off the button. Just when I finished, I was returning to Matt's room, and I had a bit of an inconvenience, and that's why I ended up using the Steel Samurai costume.
Nickel. Not steel.
Oh, and then the Nickel Samurai. His brothers are the Tin Samurai and the Aluminum Samurai. Samurai. Oh, I think you'd appreciate this. We have a horse in Breath of the Wild now. Her name is Nightmare. And I mean, obviously the second best was David Hasselhoff, but that wouldn't have fit. Then there was Harry Trotter.
Harry Trotter, yes.
Britney Spears. You stabbed the body with the knife? Why would you do that? Isn't it obvious to pin the blame on Matt Langard? A certain cowardly man. What do you mean by all this? It may take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt. The scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again. Just like the last time.
Okay.
Last time? So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Carida, in the chest with a knife. However, you didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Mountain Guard for the murder. And this is her crime. What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? Mr. Wright, please get over the shock and commence with the cross-examination.
You are going to question every
statement
that's
Britney Spears. This other one. I will.
We can't do that one. It's too long.
No.
We can only have up to 9 letters.
It was funny though, just some of the names. It was great. I looked up horse name puns. Then there was the main attraction. There were a lot of good ones. So.
Main attraction.
Excuse me. But you could tell from the state of the room it was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say you did not know he was dead? He had a scarf tied around his neck, but the scarf, it was a part of the Gemini Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour him some juice. Oh yeah, Hermione. Hermione. So what was this plan you had? I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because, one, he was going to expose Matt's... I know because, one, he was going to expose Matt's weakness. Weakest weak point of the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin it on the criminal Matt. So you forged pieces of evidence where the knife and the button were. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. That was your... That was so you could get the knife, correct? The knife Matt used at dinner has fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used it, the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Then, Matt was napping in his costume the whole time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned it to the scene of the crime. Then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished, I was returning to Matt's room, and I had a bit of an inconvenience, so... An inconvenience? There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway. I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta. There was also a woman with a ray gun racing and pacing back and forth. And that's Miss Holdbag for you. I had already been caught and made a big scoop of a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out looking to tear myself caught another one. You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it on Juan's guitar case at the day of the award ceremony. You did this in preparation of the press conference, correct? How's everyone's day been? I had to work today. I went in the pool, some friends came over, so that was fun. But yeah, I had a very low, chill day and streamed Breath of the Wild. We actually got a lot of the towers done, like, on the left side, but... On the right side. The right side, whatever. I knew what I meant. I was pointing towards this side. I said the wrong direction. Yes, Juan wanted to wear the costume and hold the press conference in it. How was your day today?
Mine was good.
Well, that's good.
I guess.
He was going to... That's good. Well, yeah, I guess the dog you went there, or the dog we were talking to went home early this morning, which is cool. 9 o'clock? He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there. And what is this secret? That I don't know. Anyway, deflecting much? Anyway, I thought if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened up the guitar case. I absolutely do not want anyone to know about the costume. I don't want to concede its testimony, but it rings the truth. I'm sorry, Phoenix. No, please don't apologize to me. We were both taken by surprise. Still, I'm sorry. So I pressed all her statements.
That's it. No. There's nothing to be done here with trial to suspect the body you have to.
I know, I was just double checking. There must be something I'm missing then.
Did you get all the statements?
Okay, That was when you hit the knife, correct? And the knife may use the turn. I'm just gonna button mash all the statements. There we go, okay. I think we've had enough. So after that, you went back to Mr. Engard's room and planted the button. I guess I missed one.
Yeah.
And to Hakama. Such a weird word. After that, I folded the costume up, and I was wearing and put it into a bag. And I snuck out the hotel to get rid of it. My word, what does this all mean?
I don't know.
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Engard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Francisca, huh? She said that I should, under no circumstance, confess what I had done. That if I were to keep quiet, that Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe her words. Alright. What the witness did is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she's not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor, the defense still... Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it's not possible to indicate Miss Andrews indict Miss Andrews in anything. Yes, exactly. There is a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. There's no... The cross-examination of the witness is over in today's trial. So you couldn't establish the witness was the culprit. Please let go, Mr. Wright. But... Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today. It's an empty seat.
Edgeworth knows what's going on.
Well, Edgeworth knows
Something.
Well, Phoenix hasn't told him.
He knows.
Well, he said something about Maya on this, but he knows Phoenix is acting weirder than normal. You can tell. Most of the time,
a little bit.
Well, no, because most of the time it's like, oh god, another day, thank God. Ugh. Yeah. I can find more evidence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he knows something's going on.
Sorry.
Today's trial is over. I didn't win the acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Edgeworth? What is it? Before you leave court today, I was wondering if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found it in the room that day. The room? That day? Yes. I found the card just when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him. You found the card next to the victim's body? I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket? You might be right, you might be wrong, who knows? Oh, wait, no, I don't know if you know the name. Yes. But if this card is any relevance to Juan's murder, right? Yeah, I guess not. It's just a strange card, if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why. Okay. Okay. Go.
Okay.
Witness! That card! Give it to me! Hurry! Edgeworth? Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done. This, I can't believe you hid this from all this I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to. What is this all about? I've never seen Edward so emotional before. But card, what in the world is it? What does it mean?
Well, to be continued.
To be continued.
Well,
We'll continue for a little bit more. But I don't want to go too long. Actually, we could just end it here.
no.
I mean,
So
I'll go.
next one you're just gonna...
It's just. What? What? Well, I know we talked to Miles.
You're gonna talk to Gumshoe.
Oh, okay. So, okay, cool. I think this is when we actually talk with people about things.
Yeah.
Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! There, Pearls. I can't take it anymore. Look, it'll be alright. Everything may still work out. The condition was that we had to get a non-guilty verdict. So far, the kidnapper has kept his word and hasn't hurt Maya. And he won't because Mr. Ungard has been proven guilty. He hasn't given a guilty sentence yet. Cheer up. We don't have time to stand around crying. We have to get going. Right. Mystic Maya is much more pain than I am. Yeah, that's right. So, hey guys, glad I caught you, pal. Mr. Scruffy Detective. Oh boy, looks like Detective Gumshoe has been dubbed Mr. Scruffy Detective in Pearl's book now. It's just plain old Dick Gumshoe now. I came to talk to you, pal. But we're kind of busy right now. So, what are you going to do from now on? What do you mean, pal? Well, you've been fired, right? So, do you have a new job lined up yet? Oh, well, what am I supposed to do, pal? I don't have anything coming. I don't have anything coming in until my next payday. What are you talking about? You don't have another payday. I guess that means I'm just gonna have to work at your place, pal. I'm sorry, what? Y'all are searching for things that'll prove Mr. Guard's innocence all day, right? Well, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna help you, pal. I've got lots of experience in investigating and watching other people's places. And I'm great at making really simple meals. Pal, I'll take care of it all. He works for us now. Mr. Dick! Come on, Mr. Dick, let Mr. Scruffy Detective take care of things. Okay. By the way, what's your best dish? Instant noodles, pal. Why am I surrounded? Why am I surrounded by people who only eat cheap, unhealthy foods? Well, that was the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth act like that. Never thought he'd say something like that. He didn't care if Miss Andrews killed himself. He didn't? That's horrible. Well, that's because but because of him doing that, you got the fruits likely. The fruits. Miss Andrews' last testimony. Well, I mean, unfortunately, he was playing hardball to get her to testify. I mean, call him a bad guy all you want. That method will work. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. There's nothing strange about her testimony itself, but I still think there's something fundamentally wrong with the whole thing. You mean about that thing, Belle? Why would she want to? No. Why would she almost need to frame Mr. Ungard? I can't figure out from anything that she said all day. Then you're saying that the testimony was a lie? Not at all, per se. It's just there's something more that meets the eye. And that's what Mr. Edgeworth would like us to believe. That's such a dirty trick. Even that woman prosecutor was better than that. Francisca von Karma. Speaking of Miss von Karma, do you have any information on her condition? Oh, wasn't she shot this morning?
No.
Miss von Karma was shot today on the way to the trial by a pistol. Pistol? Oh, okay. Pistol pal. But she's gonna be fine, right? I mean, Edward said she was in a stable condition, but well, she was shot in the shoulder, so she's okay and still hanging in there. They should be done taking the bullet out. So she's probably resting at the hospital. Which one? What, are you gonna visit her, pal? No. Well, I was kind of thinking about it. You've actually got a heart, don't you? She looks like she's being... She looks like she was being tortured to death, not being able to go to trial today. But maybe it's good for her, you know. Maybe it'd be good for her if you went and let her whip you a bit. No! Pearls, you shouldn't be saying that! Let's go let her whip us, Mr. Nick. Okay, now, I'm definitely not going. Let's see, the name of the hospital. Oh yeah, the Hottie Clinic.
Hottie Clinic. Where are they going to get whipped?
That name sends a chill down my spine. Well, I guess I can't hurt to stop by and say hi. Do we get to see Dr. Hottie? Oh god.
That's where you go in the clinic.
Please? Never thought I'd ever come back to this place. Yes! Yes! Awesome! Yay! Yeah, okay, I'm glad. One, I don't know what kind of a voice I would give him. Two, I think I'm gonna wait for Lance to voice him. I think that's what we'll pick up the stream. Is I alive tonight? I'm leaving him just for you, Lance. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream here. If you guys are new, make sure you hit follow. That way you get notified when we go live. I'm a variety streamer. You never know what I'm gonna be streaming. These games are great. I really would highly recommend them. Yeah, I would just really highly recommend these games. So, tomorrow, this guy in the comments, if he's not too scared, should be joining me. We're gonna stream Phoenix Wright. I can't wait. As you can see, he is just absolutely thrilled to be voicing this character. Okay, so links are in the chat. Make sure you guys join the Discord. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. I'm not really on Discord and Instagram, so it's no, sorry, not Discord. I'm not on Twitter and Instagram. Those are more so like it's like I have an official Twitter account. So if anyone tries to make a fake account, it's like nope, this is my account. I need to get better at using them anyways. I should probably just hire someone just to do Discord stuff.
Okay.
I'll just hire Regina. Hey Regina, just ran into my Discord. my Instagram. Oh yeah, links are in the chat. YouTube is where the stream will go eventually. I have to download Twilight Princess and I have to download these videos, so there's gonna be a lot of videos coming to the channel soon. And if you guys would like to donate, it's not all required, but it is really appreciated. All of your donations go towards the channel, whether if we need a new laptop or whatever, or we're getting games or whatever, games you guys want us to play. That helps us go towards that, so. Yeah. So, is anybody live? Okay.
Um,
So, we're gonna send you guys off to somebody.
PSP, Outer Space, Extraordinary Woman Mormon, Phantom Living Gamer, Sons of Pain. That's it. Oh, Sons of Pain's playing Batman on the
Okay, we'll send them. It's
SLS underscore OF
capital O.
underscore STAIN.
Okay, and that's it. So, what was we playing? Arkham Asylum and Arkham Knight? My mind went to Arkham Origins for some reason. Anyways, I'm gonna send you guys to Sons of Cain. He is currently playing Arkham Knight, which is actually a really good game. A very hard game, but a very good game. And so here's the deal. Normally, Monday through Thursday, we stream 10:30 in the morning and 9 o'clock at night. Tomorrow, I picked up a shift, and so I'll be working at 8:45. No, 7:45. No, 8:45.
Yeah.
One of those times. Point is, I'll be working in the morning, so there's gonna be no morning stream. But we'll be doing a night stream of Phoenix Wright, so you'll get a double dose of Phoenix Wright.
Unless I decide to go on with something.
Yeah, or if I get home at some point after swimming, we might hop on Zelda for a couple hours. You never know. We'll keep you guys posted. And then Tuesday, it's 3 to 7, so there should be a morning stream Tuesday. Maybe not. We'll see. It depends on how, I guess, tired I am, because working in the morning sucks. But I shouldn't be that tired, actually. Anyways, show Sons of Cain some love, give him a follow if you don't already, do hashtag Bigfoot Raid. We will see you guys tomorrow night, or we'll see you guys tomorrow, point being. So, have a good night, and show him some love. So, peace out, guys. I'll stop laughing because I